morning and welcome to Your Vote Counts. I'm Scott Mitchell and I'm feeling grateful today. Good to have John Pfeiffer, Representative Pfeiffer, and Senator Kirt again. Hey, let's just talk about some of the things we're thankful for. Well, number one, I want to shout out to the folks at Oklahoma Heart Hospital, Dr. Ghani, Dr. Randolph, and Dad's new valve. Great job, folks out there. But we're talking today about what happens in state government and nationally. And for this last year, the legislative session, what are you thankful about?
You know, the big thankfulness for me is our care of people with mental illness. So we really took some steps forward to get ready for people in crisis. We funded more forensic center beds. So we have a forensic center that serves people who are incarcerated trying to get assessed for mental illness. And then we also dedicated American Rescue Plan money to double the size of the Griffin Memorial Hospital and the Tulsa Behavioral Health Center. I think that'll put us in a better position to serve folks when they're in a deep crisis. Now we got to work more on preventative care and getting people so that they're not going inpatient, but I'm thrilled with those investments. Great.
It was a great thing that happened. You're in leadership at the House. What were you thankful for this last session?
Well, we have a lot to be thankful for here in the state of Oklahoma. Our economy is doing well. Our general revenue receipts are up month after month, and we have a lot of money in savings to deal with whatever's coming with the economy. We all know we all know a recession's coming. We have the money to deal with that. I'm also very thankful that we were able to do a series of bills dealing with ad valorem protest. I know that's maybe not the most exciting of topics, but it has a huge impact on the rural schools in my district, and I worked on it for 3 years. I'm really happy to get it across the line.
You did do a lot of work on that, and congratulations. All right, so D.C. is usually the thing that we beat up on around here, but anything that happened in this last congressional session, and you folks have to deal with that. You have to deal with what Congress does. Anything you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for the Defense Authorization Act, which has made it through. I believe the Senate hadn't passed the House yet. Should be done through the first of the year. And afterwards, this year, it's named the Jim Inhofe Defense Authorization Act. I'm just very thankful for our congressional delegation and Senator Inhofe's years of service on the Senate Armed Services Committee, protecting our bases here in Oklahoma, showing a true faithfulness and thankfulness to the men and women in uniform, and just thankful for his leadership in getting this across the finish line before the end of the year.
And thanks for being one of those people that used to be in uniform serving our country. Your thoughts about D.C. and anything that made you thankful this past year?
You know, one of the biggest areas of growth was that the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act passed, and that's the first meaningful gun reform legislation in more than 30 years. And that allowed for better background checks for young gun buyers. It also tried to broaden keeping people safe if they're in domestic abuse situations. I gotta say, I hear from my constituents all the time. I just spoke at Northwest Classen High School. A bunch of kids who are worried. They're worried about school shootings. They're worried about gun availability in their communities. And this gave them some hope that we're gonna be making some progress with some real problem solving and solutions.
Great, great. Okay, when we come back, we're gonna thankful it forward. What am I talking about? We'll tell you. Stay tuned. Well, we're staying with that theme of thankfulness. By the way, we lost Ray Frederickson this last week, and a guy who multiple Oscar winner and helped put Oklahoma's movie industry on the map, and so sad to hear about his passing. But we got some things we've been thankful for talking about this one. Now we're going to talk about thankful for next year. I know it's a weird topic. My point is, what are you looking forward to for next year that you may be thankful for?
I'm thankful that we continue to have strong leadership in the House of Representatives. The leadership team I get to work with, Speaker Charles McCall, Floor Leader John Echols, we're going to continue to lead on issues that are important to us and important to the state of Oklahoma. Tax reform, meaningful marijuana legislation that continues to rein in and better regulate this industry. I'm just thankful that I get to serve with a great group of individuals and serve my constituents and continue to move this state forward and just continue to look forward and do what the House does, which is lead on these issues.
All right, and Senator, hopefully at this time next year, what will you be thankful for in 2023?
You know, the big thing I have to be hopeful for is the public educators, the former educators, former school board members, public school parents who are in the legislature, and those advocates out there who are speaking up for real problem solving for our schools, that are going to push away some of the attacks on our schools and on our teachers, and are going to focus on what's really good for students. Our students are increasingly diverse. We've figured out all kinds of things around learning disabilities. You know, 15% of our kids are on IEPs. We have a lot of challenges to serve kids well, and I hope that those folks in the legislature who speak up for public schools will continue.
Okay, so we're going to get back to D.C. for just a second. We can hear the cat calls in the audience already. But the Republicans took the House of Representatives barely in D.C., but the Democrats held on to the Senate. When you're looking forward to next year, what do you think you could be thankful for from D.C.?
You know, I hope we see some more problem solving and less performance. Certainly what I've heard from folks who worked in the state legislature in the past was that back when the state Senate was tied between the Democrats and the Republicans, there was a lot of good policy actually made, because every single bill that moves, there's got to be bipartisan support. There's got to be that give and take, and things have to really be worked on and not rushed through. So I got to hope that there's going to be some real dialogue and conversation about what we can agree on, because certainly we can't do things that are super divisive. There's just not the numbers there for anyone to dominate that conversation.
We're at that time of year, by the way, both in D.C. and Oklahoma City, where the press releases start coming out with legislation that's not going anywhere. It's performative and nonsense. But there are people that are doing real work. And when you're looking up to next year, and when you're looking back at the end of next year, what are you hopeful to be thankful about?
Well, I'm thankful for a Republican majority in Congress and what that means for the state of Oklahoma. It means 2 of our 5 congressional delegations should get gavels back in their hands. Congressman Tom Cole should be chairman of the Powerful Rules Committee. Congressman Frank Lucas will be chairman of Science and Technology. And most importantly, at least for my part of the world, Congressman Lucas is getting back on the Ag Committee, and 2023 is a Farm Bill year. Having that kind of leadership and somebody who's written one of the most successful farm bills ever, going out and protecting our conservation programs, our crop insurance programs, is something I am very thankful for. Because we like to eat. Yes, we do. All right.
Thanks for watching Your Vote Counts. See this again at news9.com/YourVoteCounts and follow me on Twitter @NeutralTalks.